Welcome to the Arkansas Cattle Business Podcast, brought to you by the Arkansas Cattlemen's Association. Here, we dive into the heart of Arkansas's cattle industry, where legislation, education, advocacy, and development come together to support the hardworking cattle producers of the natural state. Whether you're in the pasture or on the road, this is your connection to the people, policies, and programs shaping the future of our industry. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Arkansas Cattle Business Podcast. I am your host, Michelle Buffkin Horton.
And I'm your co-host, Norley Townsend.
We are excited to be here with you this week. This is probably our second episode of the every other week portion of the podcast. We appreciate y'all being patient with us as we've gone through quite a busy season here at the Cattleman's office and just really being able to focus on a couple of different things at each time. And so we've got a pretty good episode for you this week, talking about a big legislative update, the big beautiful bill, talking about a membership drive wrap up, almost,
sort of.
And then a really big convention focus, because we are a month away from convention, essentially. And so we're really excited about it. We've got a lot of info coming at you, and so that way you can make sure you get all the information you need, register all the pieces. So we're really looking forward to it. So this week we do have if you're tuning in with us in video, you can see we have the same hat from last time. It's the only straw hat Randy has in his office. Next time we will request that he brings a different straw hat. And so if you've been here, it's like 105 degrees. Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't fathom.
A little warm.
Yeah, I couldn't fathom having a felt hat in here. But that's what he has in his office mainly.
I'm sure he has way more straw hats. He just likes wearing that one because it's open weave. Yeah.
Very necessary. It has actually been a few days, knock on wood, where we can actually go out and cut hay and bale hay. It has been very nice. And so we're hoping we'll see a little bit more of that coming through. And saying to me again that we're in July and still on the first cuttings of hay.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
But summer's definitely here. You can feel it when you walk outside. You're a little warm, a little sticky. Great times all around. We love it. Woo, summertime.
Love it.
But we have a lot of big updates for y'all. We can do first with the legislative update. Biggest thing we've been talking about, again, session is done here in Little Rock. And so biggest piece we've been doing here in Little Rock is looking at keeping up with our local elections. And so last podcast episode, I encouraged you to find out if your representative or senator was running for re-election, and find out their voting record, their thoughts on agriculture, and or if you have a new person. Some of our members have termed out, and so they are moving on to a different position, or they are stepping back from public service entirely. And so you have a few new people running for House of Representatives or for Senate seats here in the state of Arkansas. So I encourage you, check that out, figure out who's running in your local area, and reach out to them. Now is the perfect time. They love to be able to talk to their constituents this time of year because, one, it is campaign season. It is political fundraising season, but it's also the time where they have and dedicate the time to focus on getting to know their constituents. And so that's what we've been doing a lot of here at the state level, is keeping a master list here of who's running for what and some information about them. But if you have questions, reach out to the office. We're here to help you. If you're not sure who is running in your area, reach out, let us know. Or you can, an easy way for a lot of people right now, they've been putting and updating their Facebook statuses. And so you can kind of look and see who's running for what that direction. So we'd love to help you out, but I encourage you. What we do at the Cattlemen's matters. Of course, we are able to be the voice of the cattle industry here in the state, but what you're able to discuss and carry with your local representative or your local senator is truly, truly very important. It's because you have those relationships that allow us to work at the Capitol. And so I encourage you, go ahead and reach out to them while they have the time, while you have the time. Have a phone call, send a text message, whatever you can do. Reach out, talk to them, ask them their thoughts about agriculture, what they're working on. It seems like we're super far away from the election, and we are from the big one, but we have a primary coming up pretty soon, and so it seems early. It seems crazy to think about it, but it will be here before we know it. It will pass very quickly, and so reach out, interact with them now. So that's our state update. On the federal side, biggest and only thing that has been discussed in D.C., it feels like, is the big, beautiful bill, or the reconciliation package. And so last time we talked, it had not passed all the way through the Senate. Pieces had been introduced, and we talked a lot about the Senate ag piece because, of course, that is one of our main focuses, and I'll recap what's in this bill for y'all as well. But the Senate did pass the bill, and so it is complete there. It went back to the House to be amended or to be accepted for its amendments. And so we are recording this on a Thursday, July the 3rd, at like 10:30. I don't know. They're still meeting. They, being the House, are still meeting. So I wish I were trying to wait to give y'all an update of like, hey, here's good news, here's bad news, here's some news. We can't. And so for timeliness sake, we do need to go ahead and get the podcast recorded and out. And so unfortunately, I don't have an update by the time this airs. We should have an answer. They will not be, I'm assuming, will not be in session tomorrow. They'll have a July 4th recess. And so they will be deciding that today. So about 3:30 a.m. on Thursday morning, late Wednesday night, whichever way you kind of want to think about it, they voted, the House voted for the rules portion, the procedural vote on the big, beautiful bill, which allows them to then open up the package and vote on the bill itself. And so it is... that was a very long debate. They started at 9:30 p.m. last night, and like I said, finished it up at 3:30 this morning. And so been quite an extensive amount of debate there. It was touch and go for a little bit about whether this bill was the procedural vote was even going to pass. And so it did manage to get passed. I have read that was the longest vote in House history. And so that was very interesting to see. I did not stay up until 3:30 a.m. I read it this morning when I woke up at 6 a.m. and I was like, let me find out what happened. It was not staying awake that long. But why do we care about it? What are we looking at? Why does it matter to livestock producers, to cattle producers? I'm going to address my notes here. One note I did want to make about the Senate was that the Senate passed the bill. It's a very close vote in the House right now. The Senate passed the bill even closer as a 50-50 vote on Tuesday of this week, with Vice President Vance actually breaking the tie. And so it was a very close vote there, just as it is in the House currently. President Trump set the goal of trying to have this done by July the 4th, which is this week. And so we will see if they can get it voted on today in the House. Maybe. It'd have to be pretty daggum early this morning to be able to be voted on and accepted and sent to the president's desk by the 4th, but we will see. Wins for cattle producers within the big, beautiful bill that's from the Senate side that are now going back to the House. A lot of these were in the original House package as well. And so biggest one is the death tax exemption increase from 15 million, or from what it is currently to 15 million. And so again, that was set to sunset at the end of this year, and so it would have gone down to 5 million. So this will increase it to 15 million and make it permanent at that level. LFP, so Livestock Forage Program payments. We talked about this one a lot on the Senate side when they introduced this portion. It gives you a payment after 4 weeks of drought of D2 and a second after 7 weeks of an 8-week period within a D2 drought. And so you'll get 2 payments there, decreasing the threshold level there. It used to be you have to have 8 weeks at D2. It included 100% bonus depreciation and expanded Section 179 within the tax code. Very helpful for a lot of people who are looking at the depreciation side for your accountants. And then extended conservation funding for 6 years. and also covered a lot of the animal health three-legged stool that we talk about within the ag industry quite a bit. And so making sure we're able to protect the livestock industry with a vaccine bank, foot and mouth disease vaccine, and items like that through NIH. So very excited for the three-legged stool there. And one nice thing that we saw in this Senate version was that there was a deletion or removal of an eminent domain expansion. And so there's a lot of discussion around that. And so we were able to actually get some of that language removed and be able to protect private property rights there. And so this bill's hundreds of pages long. So this is not everything that's going to pertain to agriculture, but these are the most key pressing things within it for the livestock industry. And so we're really grateful to our Senate leaders who worked really hard for that bill, and now to our House representatives who are congressmen who are working really, it feels tirelessly. I mean, if you get done at 3:30 and you're back at 9:30, like, that doesn't add up to be a lot of sleep. And so they are fighting for agriculture within this bill. And so we're eager to see what occurs. And so hopefully by the time this podcast airs, you'll have some good news. You can go Google it. It's everywhere. I feel like it's hard to miss at this point, but also maybe that's just my algorithm showing things I'm interested in, which is politics all the time. And so, but you can go Google and see the outcome. Again, we're hopeful to see this. What it does is it addresses a lot of things that the Farm Bill traditionally addresses, but we don't yet have. And so, and then also extending out the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act from 2017, which gives our producers a fighting chance for with the death tax. And so, very big bill. Very interested to see what is going to come of it. And so, like I said, still Thursday today, they are still debating and probably will be for quite a bit today. And so we're hopeful to see some movement here soon. So that is your Hats on the Hill update.
Yep.
A lot of hurry up and wait, I feel like. A lot of here's an update, but like we don't truly know what happens. And so, welcome to politics.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yep. And so, but we will see. And so this will be the last step. If it does get passed here in the House, it will then be sent to the president's desk. And so we should be hopefully seeing something, I would say, a Thursday evening. And if not, it'll carry over. We'll see. Mm-hmm. So with that, what membership updates do we have for them?
Membership drive is over officially.
Yep.
Today is July the 3rd, so if you pay now, it is your 2026 membership. So obviously, since it's being the 3rd, 3 days after membership drive ends, we don't know the final numbers yet, but we are at 85% of last year's number. So we're really, really excited about that. We made it a long way, but it was a hard fight, it seems like, but...
Yep. Yeah, we had a lot of producers. I mean, with that 85%, I mean, you can think about it. That's still, so it's what, a 15% membership loss with some memberships still coming in. So we'll see, obviously, where we end up. But some of that was people that didn't want to pay because the dues increase. Okay, fair. Quite a few of that was people that did not necessarily have cattle, but were paying $50 to be able to support the cattleman's industry or support the cattle industry. But they're like, hey, like, I don't own cattle. Like, it's harder for me to justify $100. Okay, fair. And then we're seeing some of it where we had quite a few producers with prices as high as they are. Some of the older producers just kind of chose to take now to say, hey, I've worked my time. I've served my time within this industry. We're going to take really good cattle prices and sell out. And so we've seen quite a bit of each of those categories or each of those things there within that 85%. And so we know our counties worked really hard to get to that 85%. So we're really grateful for the work that y'all did throughout the membership drive. And so really grateful for our members for allowing us to continue supporting and fighting for the cattle industry here in the state.
Yep. And I still have some checks coming in, so be on the lookout for those.
Yep. And so we'll be able to... It'll probably be the next podcast, if I'm being honest, because we're not going to do one in between. And so, but it will be on social media. We'll announce where we've had what our final numbers were. It will, honestly, it's probably going to be next week. So within the 8th or 9th of July. The reason it takes a little bit of time is because we just state that memberships have to be postmarked by June 30th. And we all know that sometimes the mail takes a little bit longer from some parts of the state than it does from other parts of the state, along with you add in a holiday weekend. And so we're not getting mail on Friday. I don't know that we'll get a lot of mail on Saturday, and so it may end up being Tuesday or Wednesday next week before we post on social of where we wrapped up the year. But we're excited to share that with you, and again, we're grateful for your membership and for those that went out and recruited.
Yep. Thank y'all.
So we'll be able to share our prize winners as well.
Yep.
In that next podcast. But for July, because this is technically the beginning of July, we don't have a prize. And so we don't have you recruited, because we do start a new membership year. So our monthly membership prizes only go through January through June. Mm-hmm. So if you wonder, like, hey, why are they not talking about this month's prize? There isn't one. And so we'll start that again. So if you know anybody that would be willing to donate something for a prize in the future, let us know. We're always looking.
Yep.
We'll always try to shake it up. And so we'll do a big membership update in the next podcast, because we'll have final numbers and we'll be able to kind of share some breakdowns and some information with y'all of those memberships. So, but the big thing we're going to talk about is convention. Yeah, we're like a month away, which is
getting
insane.
real. It is getting real.
Yeah, very
Super
insane.
excited about it.
Yep. So this month's, aka July's magazine, ACB, will have a full breakdown, full guide to convention. It includes your schedule. It includes, Norley's got it here for you if you're watching online. It includes your schedule. It includes links for hotels. It includes the Cattlemen's College overviews. It includes all kinds of things. A trade show pass, all these things within it. And so I encourage you, when you get your July magazine, again, which may probably going to be next week, post holidays, with the mail system and printing. But when you get your magazine, look it up, look at it, check out the convention schedule, because it has a lot more detail than we'll be able to go into here, because I don't want to just sit here and read a schedule or read a session bio.
We don't want to board y'all.
But we do want y'all to have that information. So, big things I want to point out in the schedule that may be a little bit different than the past, or that I just want to make sure that people know. We've had a lot of people ask, like, well, what time do I need to be there on Friday? 10 a.m. prior to a little bit. But registration opens at 9:30. We will be hosting our opening general session at 10 a.m. And so we are really looking forward to that. Last year was one of the first years we've done a general session in quite a while, and for an opening session. And so we're excited about it. We have Dr. James Mitchell from the U of A coming in to do a economics talk, a market outlook talk, and then we'll have a representative do an update on the New World screwworm. And so we know there have been a lot of questions about this, and so we'll start with those two items, the market outlook and the New World screwworm. Dr. Mitchell will not be doing the New World screwworm update, but he will be doing the market outlook. We're still working on finalizing our New World screwworm update, but we will have somebody providing that information for our producers, because it is still a very hot topic and ongoing issue and concern for Arkansas producers. And so we'll have that. We will be having another Cattlemen's College panel this year. Last year we had a panel at lunch on Saturday. This year we will have a panel at lunch on Friday. And so we'll have a panel, Cattlemen's College, on Friday, talking about disaster proofing your operation. And so we're going to have really great lineup with Chief Billy Black from the law enforcement for the Department of Ag. We're going to have Dr. Kirsten Midkiff, an animal health specialist at the U of A, and Clay Vaughn, from Specialty Risk Insurance, talking about the three different aspects of being able to prepare your operation for things that could go wrong. So, next, we can go, if you want to give them just like the briefest update of Billy's actual Cattlemen's College, because he'll be doing 2 for us this year.
Yeah.
So that way I don't have to do the whole talking, and I can take a break.
Right. So obviously he's the livestock law enforcement, so he's going to talk about a little bit what we talked about on the podcast, but go in deeper depth, basically, and just talk about theft, how to protect your property, and different things like that.
Yep. So he's going to talk about tactics, trends, kind of what he's been seeing, but also real world examples of like what you can do, walk away with the information that day to
Yes.
help protect you. And so it'll be a good bit more in depth than it was here on the podcast, but that'd be a good introduction to it. The next Cattlemen's College we have that day is Pasture, Weed, and Forage Management with Mitch Cash from the Arkansas Grazing Lands Coalition. And so Mitch is going to talk about ways to manage your pasture and your grazing to manage weed control. And so he's going to bring lots of different experience to the table from the Arkansas Grazing Lands Coalition. So we're really excited about that one as well. And then the final Cattlemen's College we have that day is the beef quality demo.
Beef quality cutout. I'm really excited about that one. I like kind of seeing the fabrication of the carcass. But Dr. Janelle Yancey from the U of A and Dr. Crystal Aarons Roulier. I hope I'm saying that right. Roulier. Sorry.
It's Cajun. It's Cajun.
But she's from Arkansas Tech University, and they're going to team up together on that and talk a little bit about beef cuts. So excited about that one.
Yeah, so they're working to get actual product there so you can actually see some of it. They're not going to fabricate a whole carcass. Let's set expectations here. It's a 45-minute session. They will not be fabricating an entire carcass, but they will be, hopefully, if they can secure some, have some actual cuts there, but then also talk about preparing for freezer beef and learning about a little bit of yield grade of what you might be able to get from your prices, profit, how to profit, and things like that. And so it's going to be a very interesting, not really 2-part, but kind of 2-segment piece of looking at the meat and talking about what happens after the rail there.
Yep.
So that's going to be our Friday Cattlemen's Colleges. So if any of those kind of interest you, make sure you're there on Friday. We will wrap that evening with a social hour sponsored by Gene Plus on Friday evening. So we will have a bar and some snacks there Friday at 4:30. I say evening. I say it's 4:30, and so we'll do 4:30 to 6:30. We'll have a happy hour there with sponsored by Gene Plus with musicians Cliff and Susan. They just won like 3 awards, the Arkansas Country Music Hall of Fame. So really excited for them. Really excited to have them, and thanks to our sponsors, Farmers Bank and Trust and First Community, for being able to have Cliff and Susan join us that evening. And we'll end the evening with dinner and our ACF benefit auction.
And this is actually, if you're watching on video, we have one of the pictures that's going to be donated for the auction. If I can grab it here and not make too much noise. This will be in our auction. So really excited about that. If y'all have anything y'all want to donate in the live auction or in our silent auction, please bring it. Bring it to a convention. Bring it to here at the office, like this picture here. We'd love to have it. Just if it can be homemade.
Yeah, we had somebody donate a cow skull last year. They had painted and decorated. We had pictures. We had purses. We had a trampoline. We had all kinds of things. And so no limit at all to what you can donate. And so like Norley mentioned, we'll have a silent and a live auction. So a silent auction will be happening throughout convention. Live auction will be that evening. We'll have a couple of different handguns or guns. I guess I should specify. We'll have a couple of different guns that we will be auctioning off auctioning off chances for. And so lots of different opportunities there for producers as well. Big question. So it'll benefit the ACF, so the Arkansas Cattlemen's Foundation, and the ACA. And so it's going to go for ACF. It's going to go towards scholarship, educational opportunities there for them to continue supporting youth. Same thing with the Cattlemen's. And so who can donate, who can buy things at this auction? AKA, do you have to be an ACF member, a member of the foundation, or a member of the Cattlemen's?
Nope.
Correct. You can just come. You can hang out. We'll have dinner that evening, and so we'll have dinner. But if you don't want to buy dinner and you just want to come and hang out and buy auction items or bid on auction items or donate an auction, great. Perfect. Come join us. We would love to have you. And so we'll be having that Friday evening. It'll be on the trade show floor. And so it makes it very easy for you to just stick around after we get done with our Cattlemen's Colleges that afternoon.
Yeah.
So Saturday's a little bit more heavy in the morning on meetings. So we've got a couple of different meetings. We'll have our board reps, our state board meeting. We'll have the Beef Council meeting that'll be happening as well, and then the Cattlemen's Foundation meeting that will be happening as well there, because we're trying to get them out of the way very early in the morning, because after that we'll have Quiz Bowl. And so we're hosting Quiz Bowl finals at lunch on Saturday. So very excited about that. And so very excited to see the youth come in and compete. But in order to get to the finals, you have to narrow it down. And so we will have the first half of the final rounds of Quiz Bowl starting at 10 a.m. on Friday. Or on Saturday, excuse me. And so very excited to have that. Very excited to see that. And it'll be open. Quiz Bowl will be open to anybody. So if you just have some time, you want to go sit and hang out and watch students compete in something that isn't the final. And so you're more than welcome to do that. They will limit it. Obviously, if Quiz Bowl started, they're not going to let you walk in. They would like to try to keep it on a schedule, but you can go and check it out and see after the meetings wrap or in between Cattlemen's College sessions.
Yep. And during that first round of Quiz Bowls, we have our first Cattlemen's Colleges of the day, and that's a ration balancing on a budget by Jimmy Hollenbach. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Nutritionist for the farmers, so Cooperative Association. So,
yep, and so really excited to have him back. He's come and spoken at a few different cattlemen's things, but he's got a really good perspective of, he is a cattle producer himself. He also has, obviously, a nutrition background, but he can provide that practical advice of, hey, we really need to hit our nutritional goals, but also we would like to not break the bank here. And so Jimmy can help you out with that. And so it'll be an interesting Cattlemen's College there. And then the final Cattlemen's College of the week will be Genetics and Carcass Data, Unlocking Profit Potential. And so we will have Troy Marshall from he is the Director of Commercial Industry Relations for the American Angus Association. And so he's going to be looking at how strategic breeding decisions paired with carcass data can drive quality, yield, and profitability. And he did specify, he's like, it does not matter what breed. He's like, I do commercial cattle. Like, that's all I talk about is commercial cattle. He's like, and so no matter what people are what breed people are using, we're all looking for the same thing. And so how can we get there? And so he'll be sharing that information with us Friday or Saturday. I say kind of afternoon. It's not. It's like 11. Saturday before lunch. And so that'll wrap up our Cattlemen's Colleges. Well, like I said, we'll have lunch and Quiz Bowl finals. Right after that, we have our general membership meeting. What that is exactly what it sounds like. We used to call it the annual membership meeting. It used to be a ton of things. We have reframed it to be the general membership meeting. Anyone that is a member is invited to attend. Anyone that's not a member is invited to attend. You just won't be able to vote. And so what this is that is where we elect officers for the Cattlemen's Association. That is where we select and decide on policy for the ACA. It is also where we select and decide on governing documents, bylaws, constitution, items like that. And so in the June issue of of ACB, we included the breakdown of everything that is going to be discussed within the policy book for ACA and within the governing documents. And so if you're curious about it, go check out that magazine, or it's on our website as well, so you can look and see what we are proposing to change. That means the Legislative and Policy Committee and the Exec and State Boards have proposed to change. That has passed through this process. It's already gone through Leg and Policy. It went through the Exec Committee. It went to the State Board as well. They have recommended these changes to the general membership, but the general membership has the final say. And so that is what will be happening at that meeting. We encourage you to come and check it out. And then we'll end the evening and end the convention with a happy hour there Saturday evening from 5 to 6, and our awards banquet Saturday evening. So we'll be able to award our Producer of the Year, Legislator of the Year, top hands, counties that reached 100%. Scholarships. We'll be able to award anyone that's gone above and beyond within the Cattlemen's Association. And so we encourage you to come and support your fellow members, but also to come and receive your award. Lifetime members as well. We have quite a few lifetime members this year, and so we'll be awarding all of those at the awards banquet. We're really excited about it. It's always one of my favorite times of the year to be able to interact and thank our members for the work that they do. We also have a delicious meal there as well. So that'll wrap up convention. And so we've got quite a packed schedule in essentially 2 days. And so we'll do move in on Thursday, but pretty much in 2 days we get everything knocked out.
And plus, we have our big trade show, seeing all the vendors and everything. So really excited about our vendors this year and everything. So
yep. And finally, I do want to remind people that with Quiz Bowl, we do also want to remind people that we do still offer our 4-H and FFA Day. And so on Saturday, August the 9th, any student that is wearing their FFA jacket or 4-H shirt, plus their adults with them, will get into the ACA trade show for free. And so they will not have to pay the registration fee to get in the door. They will just need to wear their logoed apparel. And so if you have a friend that is supporting or that is competing in Quiz Bowl, you want to come support them, come on down. You don't have to pay to get in. You're able to just wear your shirt, get in, support them. I will specify that does not include a meal. And so if you would like a meal, you'll have to purchase a meal there on site. But if you would just want to come to the trade show and watch the Quiz Bowl, whether that's on the trade show floor or prior to, more than welcome to. We'd love to have you join us. Just wear your FFA gear, your 4-H gear, and we'll hope to see you there. So it's gonna be a very good time. We're really excited about being able to bring some youth contests back to convention. So gonna be a great time. If you haven't registered for your hotel rooms yet, you can register for Embassy. You can stay at the Embassy Suites, or you can stay at Hotel Hot Springs. Both of them have a QR code within the magazine that is available, and both of them have a link on our website that you can go on and book your rooms. I do know they are not full yet as of this recording, but they do tend to fill up quickly, so do not wait until the week before to try to book your rooms. If you are going to convention, go ahead, register, book your rooms. So, and then finally, registration. How can they do that? How can they pay? Are there ways to help go to convention?
yes. So register to come to convention on our website, arbeef.org. There is a convention grant that you can fill out. It's a Ranchers Resilience Grant. Just fill it out. Go to our website. That link's on that same page. It's all on the same page. There's multiple links there. Fill that out. You have to fill out a summary, questions, take a selfie at our convention. Then they'll reimburse you for what you've paid, and includes your rooms, and your meals, and attended convention. So,
yeah, it does have a cap on it, as a spending cap on it, not necessarily not a number of people that apply for the grant, but a per person cap. So it's $510. And so if you and your wife or you and your spouse want to register, you can definitely do that. It just may not cover full registrations for both of you and a hotel room, but it'll get you pretty daggum close. And so one last reminder, registration does close, pre-registration does close July 24th. And so prices will be increasing at the door. So I encourage you, go ahead. If you're thinking about coming to convention, apply for the grant. It takes a few days to get accepted. Go ahead and register for convention. In the meantime, I don't know anyone that has applied for the grant that has been turned down. And so go ahead and register for convention in the meantime to make sure that you can lock in those prices prior to convention. We want to make sure we can help that grant go just as far as possible. Yep. So we'd love to have you there. Trade show's gonna be great. Education's gonna be great.
We will be see everybody, talk to everybody.
Yep. We'll be electing new officers, looking at our policy and everything. So it really is, yes, there's a big piece of networking, there's a big piece of education, but it's also where the business part of the association work gets done. And so that's where we need our members. We need people being there and willing to come and attend the meetings and carry on the work of the association, because we cannot do what we do without you. And so I encourage you, if you've never been, come check it out, even if it's just for a day. There's trade show passes in your magazine, and so that can get you in the door for free there at convention. So we'd encourage you, come hang out with us. Come see us in Hot Springs August 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Hot Springs Convention Center. We'd love to have you.
Yep.
So, all right. What do they need to know? How can they follow us?
Subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all the things. Be sure to follow our newsletter, subscribe to it, subscribe to it, get all of our industry updates and everything. So, yep. And Facebook and Instagram, forgot about that.
Yep. Yeah, and I think our newsletter this week is going to focus on convention, and so making sure that we have a update for y'all for convention and have a lot of what we just talked about in written form. So if you need to note back or remember back, like, what was that? Go ahead and check out that newsletter. I also would be remiss if I did not mention our sponsors for convention this year. We do have our main sponsor again for convention being Greenway. Very grateful for them for their continued partnership. And then our trade show sponsor for this year continues to be Kubota Tractor Corporation and River Valley Tractor. And so very grateful for them as well. We'll be able to highlight them a good bit at convention and prior to. But you can find the rest of our sponsors in that sponsor packet or in this convention packet in your magazine. So be sure and look at it as soon as it hits your mailboxes.
Yep. Be on the lookout for it. So
thank y'all.
yeah, see y'all next time. This is the Arkansas Cattle Business Podcast, your trusted source for all things cattle in the natural state.